Hey guys, it's me. Okay, so the second episode was a little bit better, obviously, than the first one, at least emotionally anyway. We start off with Carol and Morgan and showing where they're at. They're at the kingdom right now. Um, it was a kind of a light episode. A little bit of humor involved. Carol is a little loopy. She doesn't know where she's at. And Morgan takes her to see King Ezekiel, which by far was probably one of my favorite parts of the show because she was cracking me up. I don't know what's going on in the most wonderful way. Like she's either playing her Carol part, which we all know happens. She plays like loopy loopy, and then she plays her tough gal part, so she likes to act innocent and then does the switcheroony on you. So I think that was really what going on. She did not trust these people. And as we all know, the kingdom is legit. They are in the comics and they're good people. King Ezekiel is way over the top. I loved him. I loved the tiger. The tiger is CGI mixed with animatronics, so it's pretty cool. But we don't see the other group at all right now. This was mainly just focused on the kingdom and going through with what they do on a daily basis. Ezekiel and how he cares for the people there. Turns out Ezekiel, Carol tries to get away. I mean, well, she does, but so Morgan finds out that, she's gone, and Carol is trying to escape, and King Ezekiel approaches her and basically just lets his hair down, I guess, if you want to say that. He pretty much tells her why he's doing this. He is not a king by any means. He is a regular guy who used to be in theater, so that's why he can kind of act over the top and all that good stuff. So I really liked the fact that they brought that in as early as they did, because a lot of people were probably thinking, this dude, like, I like King Ezekiel and what he stands for, but he's a little, woohoo. But I understood why he was doing that as far as keeping his people safe. And people like to look up to leaders and feel safe, having like a king, whatever. So the episode's pretty light. Morgan ends up getting involved with the soldiers there at the kingdom and kind of training one kid with his Aikido, which is very cool. So he gets to live on the legacy of his other friend that he lost. And let's see what else. That's pretty much it. As far as the other group's concerned, we know that Sasha is getting Maggie back to Hilltop. So hopefully next episode they will show them getting to Hilltop and Maggie getting treated and hopefully getting better, because she at this point wants to fight. Her husband has been killed and she is up for a fight. She is done. And then we're going to see Daryl probably in the worst way possible that we don't want to see him as. But the cool thing that I saw in the trailer was Dwight is going to turn good, I think. At least turn away from the saviors, anyway. And I think he's going to help out Daryl. He's just sick of getting used and being Negan's little bitch, basically. And we kind of see his wife get involved in saying, look, we don't want to be here anymore. That kind of thing. So we kind of see him help Daryl out. We don't know how far they're going to get. We don't know any of that yet. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty good episode. So we'll kind of go back to our old characters and see, who's doing what and whatever. And then hopefully the kingdom can, Dwight can kind of bring, help bring the saviors down, which is what he does in the comics. And although Daryl isn't in the comics, I think in the comics they have someone captured by the saviors, and Dwight helps them get out. So he has this mentality where he's got some good in him, and I'm really, really excited to see that, because I like Dwight, as you know, and I like him as a character, and I think, and just from what I know of the comics, he just becomes a real good guy and helps them all fight. So, yeah, so anyway, this is a short video. It's just, like I said, it was a light episode. It was very nice, humorous, and we end up seeing Carol at the end of the episode. She left, but not really. She's kind of like in a little outside cabin area, so she can kind of stay close. And I think, I don't know, I think Ezekiel's kind of sweet on her, which is really kind of cute. So he brings her a pomegranate with his little tiger. So I think it's adorable, and I really like the fact that Carol's not really going far. She's gonna stick close. So I'll be curious to see what happens with them, and I'm really curious to see how King Ezekiel and Rick eventually meet, and how they get along and how they click. So that should be really interesting. Anyway, guys, it's been fun, great episode, and the only thing I can say is I ended up watching episode 1 again before the second episode, and I will tell you this, minus the fact that Glenn and Abraham got their skulls bashed in, I got to hear a lot of what Negan said in like his lines and stuff. He's just a very humorous guy, and it's just funny to see him interact and to like notice what he says. So if you do get a chance and you're less emotional about it, I would rewatch episode 1, because there are a lot of things in there that you didn't catch the first time. For one, there was a guy taking pictures in the background that I noticed this time around of Glenn and Abraham. So they will be Polaroids up on that wall that we saw that foreshadowed Glenn. Glenn was looking at those pictures. That foreshadowed way back. So it was interesting to see them throwing foreshadows in, which they do all the time. You just don't notice them. So there was that, and then I think, what else was there? There was just a lot of little lines that Negan said that I didn't notice before, because I was so emotional about Glenn and Abraham. I didn't notice what he said. So definitely go back and watch episode 1. I know it's a tough episode, but really, if you listen to Negan and try not to pay attention to the skull bashing part, but just pay attention to what Negan says each time, or during the whole entire episode, I think you'll be really, it's probably one of the best episodes out there, minus the, obvious, but, hey, it was going to happen, but, anyway, guys, have a good night, and I will see you next week.